Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabans and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this is the show that I'm pleasantly surprised at. This is a topic that I really didn't foresee myself producing, at least for the first half of this season. Now, coming into this season, I think you guys knew where I stood with the Clippers. The Clippers have disappointed me over the last 5 years. It's like being in an abusive relationship. They've just been emotionally abusing me and so many of the supporters. And once again, they did it again. Just when you thought, okay, well, Clippers might be able to do something now coming into the season with the new arena. Kawhi and these guys are going to do their thing. We now hear that Kawhi Leonard is going to be out indefinitely. Then we heard the bombshell report surrounding a former trainer or someone from medical staff suing the Clippers for malpractice with Kawhi Leonard, all kind of crazy stuff, right? And all of these pieces of news just kept on dampening my spirits when it came to this team. And I was like, man, this is going to be a disaster. So what happened? Opening night of the NBA season, they lost a thriller to Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, and KD was KD in that game. And I said to myself, actually, I said, I'm going to follow them, but not to the extent where I'm going to be making any content about the Clippers, because I just don't have I don't have the energy to deal with the people flaming me up in the comment section, just accusing me of twerking it up, slapping myself with honey, all kind of madness. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to totally avoid it. But yesterday, I witnessed the Clippers play a game against the Golden State Warriors, which was their third game this season. And as I was watching the game, I started watching it from the beginning, I noticed something different about this team. I noticed that they were playing with a lot more tenacity, a lot more focus, and structure on the defensive side of the floor. And as I was watching them, I'm saying to myself, this team looks really good. They look really, really good. And then as the game went on, obviously they won the game, and I'm looking at all these players play well. And I'm like, man, and so at the end of the game, and then I started going through the stats, the team stats, and the players that they added. And what I found absolutely surprised me to the point I'm like, they may have something here. But before you even get into the numbers of what I found, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on sports and players you love. Pick more or less on 2 or more players in any sport to win up to 100 times your entry fee. For example, here's a possible winning player projection lineup: Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards, Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards, and CB Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. And if you're like me and you want to play safe, you will love the new features PrizePicks invented: Flex Plays. Flex Pays are the safest way to play PrizePicks. You can still make a profit or win some money back even if a couple of your picks don't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me get into some of the data here that I was able to unearth here. Okay, let's get into some of the numbers. First of all, the #1 reason that the Clippers look so good this year is because of their defense. That's the #1 thing you can attribute it to. Ever since they acquired Paul George and Kawhi, I remember when they acquired Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, one of the things that people were saying was, man, this is going to be the best defensive team in the NBA. Why were they saying that? The reason they were saying that was because the team had players like Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Beverley, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Paul George is an all-NBA defender. Kawhi Leonard had won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards and had guarded players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jimmy Butler, and these guys the year before he joined the Clippers in the playoffs. So it was like, this is going to be a great defensive team. But it was a total opposite. The Clippers were never a good defensive team at all. For the entirety of their time there, they never play defense, which seems counterintuitive given the level of defenders that they had on their roster. But this year is totally different. One of the reasons the Clippers are so good is where they rank defensively. As we're currently now, it's only 3 games. The Clippers are ranked number 3 out of the 30 teams in terms of their defensive rating. That's the first part. Another byproduct of that, not byproduct, another catalyst for that is the fact that they added former NBA coach, defensive-minded coach, Jeff Van Gundy to their bench. That was a key off-season acquisition, and in some of these games that I've seen the Clippers play, you can actually see Jeff Van Gundy actively engage in the games, yelling out defensive coverages and all of that stuff to players. I've seen it. So I think the addition of Jeff Van Gundy has played a role. The commitment to the defensive side of the floor, and it was something that Terrence Mann said. He said, this is the best defensive team I've ever seen. But another part of it has to do with their personnel. Now, they've added a bunch of some players that I don't even know, right? They added Derrick Jones Jr., who used to be a Mav last year. He's a great player, great length, 3-and-D guy, very athletic. They added Chris Dunn. They added Kevin Porter Jr. They brought back Nicholas Batum. They have Kai Jones. They have Mo Bamba. They have, who else do they have on the team? Cam Christie, Kobe Brown. I saw him get some minutes yesterday. And Joshua Primo. A bunch of new faces. I used to know, usually following the Clippers, I used to know every single player on the roster. I'm like, some of these guys, I have no idea who they are. Right? So they've added some great players that are complementary to one another. And then I want to get to the next part, which is the person leading the team in James Harden. James Harden coming into this season, you could basically see the red in his eyes because he was like, man, I'm about to go off. He was saying that I'm going to be aggressive. This is going to be my year and I'm going to do my thing. And James Harden has a green light for the Clippers. He's averaging more shot attempts this year. And this is the most shot attempts James Harden's averaged since 2019 to 2020 season. He's averaging 19.3 field goals a game. Now, his efficiency isn't there. He's only shooting 36.2% from the field, but he's also doing some other, and only 19% from the 3, but he's also doing some other things good. Number 1, if you foul him, he's going to make 90% of his free throws. That's what he's doing this year. Number 2, he's getting you 8 rebounds a game. And number 3, he's getting you the most assists that he's averaged, just going through his career. In his NBA career, he's averaging a career high in assists with 11.7 assists per game, while getting you 0.7 steals. But guess what? There's something else we have to look at, which is his turnovers, which is 6.7. So James Harden hasn't been great, but it is clear to see that had he not been a part of what this team is doing, they wouldn't be where they are. What he needs to work on is cutting down his turnovers, because it's insane, almost 7 a game, and improve his efficiency from the floor. So we have that. And the final thing is, I'm watching this, and now it's beginning to make me think, well, what could this team be if Kawhi Leonard would be back? Well, looking at the Western Conference standings right now, obviously, is very early. We're not going to make too much of the NBA standings. In the Western Conference, the Clippers are the number 6 seed. The Lakers are the number 1 seed, which is shocking of it to me at least. But they're the number 6 seed. To me, coming into this season, I had them fighting for one of the play-in tournament spots at the bottom. I think that if they can improve their shooting, especially with James Harden, maybe they could improve their seeding to where at least they could probably be the 6th seed. But now that we know that Kawhi Leonard will come back, and if he does come back, he's coming back on a consistent basis, or a permanent basis rather, then who knows? Who knows? This team could be a playoff team. Teams that we thought were going to be better this year don't really seem to be panning out in that direction. You look at teams like the Dallas Mavericks. They're not looking as good as they were last season. Houston is there. The Spurs are kind of floundering a bit. Obviously, it's a little bit early. Look at the Denver Nuggets. They're 0-2 to start the season. So a lot of things can happen. But as of now, I am pleasantly surprised at what the Clippers are doing. I'm not saying they're going to win anything. No, I'm not saying that. But they're doing better than I expected. So the question to the audience is, number 1, what do you think about the Clippers' early season play? And how do you think their season ultimately ends up panning out? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Catch you guys on the next show. Peace.